Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. This video me testing Yubel. So I'm gonna show you guys some duels that I had. I decided instead of doing the little combos, I would just do duels because this deck focuses on using super polymerization a lot. So I thought it'd be better to showcase it that way. So here we're gonna get started. My opponent's gonna set up a board. He didn't get the best like trap tricks board at all, so it's totally fine. It sucks for him that he wasn't able to establish a complete board, but you're gonna see how we're just gonna be able to dismantle whatever is left of this. But there is a bit of a twist on what's going to happen here. So here we're going to actually pop the Spirit of Yubel in order to search out a card. Then we can use Spirit of Yubel here in order to get a Yubel monster on the board. So that's one of my favorite ways of actually getting a Yubel monster on the board, is by using something like Nightmare Pain to destroy a dark monster, in this case the Spirit of Yubel, which lets you bring one of those out. Then we can use Opening of Spirit Gate here, special summon out the Spirit of Yubel. And then I'm going to be able to set the other Yubel card here. Then I can get Dark Reckoning Beast onto the board, use its effect here to search out another card. So I just like stacking up my cards, my hand with a bunch of Dark Reckoning Beasts and Opening of the Spirit Gates. So Dark Reckoning Beast is nice because you get an additional normal summon using this. So I like using that for the Lotus, and Opening of the Spirit Gates actually lets you special summon out one of your Yubel monsters in the grave. But besides that, they can also be good discard fodder after you use that effect. So I can use something like Super Polymerization, build up my hand here for the Yubel Dazewig. I'm still struggling to pronounce the name of that, but that's fine. Then we're going to special summon out another Yubel. And because Yubel was special summoned out, we're going to actually be able to get Geist Grinder Golem onto my opponent's side of the board. So that's good because now I can actually attack into it. But I did not know that he had this, so he had a Storming Mirror Force, which was really annoying, so I lost everything that I established, which is fine. I set a card here just as a decoy, I suppose, and he's going to get out one of his Shroud Emperor of the Forest Crown here. He's going to attempt to attack. I'm going to go into my Spirit of Yubel, and because of Nightmare Pain, my opponent is actually forced to attack a Yubel monster if he's able to. So he's going to force to essentially destroy himself here by attacking twice into this. I'm going to gain the 3,000 life points because of the Geist Grinder Golem. And yeah, we're just going to finish our opponent that way. It's a really fun deck. We're going to go to the next duel that I had. But this deck is just really enjoyable. But yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay guys, so this is the second duel that I have for you. So this is a bit of an OTK, as you're going to see. My opponent's going to go first here. He's going to play with the new Velmonic archetype, which was another one that you guys were interested in seeing me play, but not as much as Yubel. But you're going to see how he's going to establish his board here. He's going to get his pendulum skills. He's not going to accomplish too much, to be honest. He's just going to get out the Angela Valmonica, gain a bit of life points, and then just set a card. So not really much for him here. But I'm going to use Geist Grinder Golem here in order to get out my Spirit of Yubel. Then I can use Spirit of Yubel to search out a spell or trap. So I decided to go for the Mature Chronicle here. Then I can use something like Nightmare Pain in order to pop the Spirit of Yubel. Get my Lotus out here, and then because of Spirit Yubel's effect, I can actually get out my other Yubel. This is really good, just easy ways to build it up here. Then I can use Lotus to get my Spirit of Yubel. And then I can attack twice into this monster. So you're going to see that this is your main way of OTKing, is that you can just kind of ignore basically what they like the monsters that they have up. You just attack into the Geist Grinder Golem that you gave them, and attack twice with 2 Yubel monsters. And then during the main phase 2, you can exceed, go into Super Dreadnought, hit him for 2k, and then you can just finish them that way. It's pretty fun when you're able to get an OTK that way, and I think that's the most popular way of setting it up. So let's go to the next duel. Alright guys, this is the final duel that I have to show you. This is against Generator. You're going to see that I make quite a bit of mistakes, as I'm not completely familiar with Generator, and I underestimate them to the point where it actually puts me on edge quite a bit a few times, and I'll point it out once we get to it. But here my opponent's just going to get out his Generator monster, Vala, and he's going to get Nidhogg, exceed into Leviathan. And yeah, anyways, I'm going to use Opening of the Spirit Gates. So I could have done something like Dark Ruler No More if I really wanted to negate this, just so he wouldn't be able to do this. But I decided to not do anything because I didn't think it was going to be too problematic. It ended up being quite a bit problematic. We're going to use Nightmare Pain. Same thing I did before, get my Yubel monster. Use the Dark Beckoning Beast here. Then I can summon out my Lotus. But now he's going to do something like this and just take my monsters, which is extremely problematic. But at least I'm able to get out my Spirit of Yubel. Then I can get my Mature Chronicle. I'm gonna use my Super Poly in order to get rid of these cards, get out my Fusion Monster. And here I make a mistake where I special summon out Yubel. There wasn't any reason to do so. I don't have a way to go into the Golem, so I can't attack my opponent for anything. So I did not have to do that. I'm just gonna get rid of the Yubel. It's fine either way because it does make itself back. It does once I special summon out the Yubel monster, it does put back the token on it. So now he's gonna special summon out Vela once again. Exceed back into this generator monster. So he's going into the same monster, he's just going to clear out the board. Very similar playstyles in the sense of like my super polymerization kind of does that, and he's accomplishing the same thing but with his Exceed monster. So yeah, he's just going to establish his board here, set up some tokens. So I didn't know about this trap as well, Generator Boss Room. I definitely need to play around more with Generator. It seems like a pretty fun deck. It seems pretty powerful. I mean, something like this. When your opponent activates a card effect in response to the activation or generator card effect, you can discard a card, and that effect becomes each player draws a card. That's pretty good. It's just having a negate here and there. So he's going to beef up his hand a little bit. He's going to attack into me. Not enough to finish me, but at this point I thought it was pretty much over for me. I thought it would be difficult for me to recover from this. And he also has this card, Har the Generator, so you contribute 2 generators and or spellcaster monsters, negate the activation of an effect. So yeah, I thought this would be pretty difficult to get through. So here I'm gonna, you can see again, I don't decide to do Dark Ruler. I like running Dark Ruler in this deck, but it can be a little problematic because for the rest of the turn your opponent takes no damage, and because you don't have a very powerful way of like destroying your opponent's monsters, it can be a little bit difficult to get past it. I think it is good just if you need to establish a board and then your opponent can play into it next turn, or you can start clearing out the board a little bit. But yeah, in this instance I decided not to use Dark Ruler just because I wanted to be able to attack my opponent and potentially finish them or do some damage, some burn damage through the effect of Yubel. So here I'm just trying to bait for his generator. So that's fine. It wasn't too important for me. I just wanted to get a Yubel monster out. Get Spirit of Yubel, set down the Nightmare Pain once again. The Nightmare Pain's always, it's just a really good card and get so much value out of it. Being able to pop the Spirit of Yubel. Not only that, it forces your opponent's monsters into attacking your Yubels, so pretty annoying for them. And yeah, so here I end up activating Mature Chronicle. And this card, so this is the Stellar Nemesis Typhon. So this card is really good for this deck because you can turn any monster into this as long as it's the highest monster in the field. And since all of your monsters have 0 attacks, you can turn something like Dark Beckoning Beast into this Typhon. And Typhon does a lot for the deck here. Make it so your opponent can't activate the effects of monsters with 3,000 or more attack, which you can see here that he has one of those generators and he has another one here as well, which makes it very problematic for them, and a lot of powerful boss monsters have 3,000 more attack. It's super easy to get out, but not only that, you can attach 1 material from this card, return 1 monster in the field to the hand. So just, this card gives you amazing value and it's really good for this deck. So I'm going to return this, attack with my Yubel monster, attack once again. Then during the end phase, I'm going to be able to add the Lotus back to my hand. Get rid of my Yubel. I think it's fine as long as I have my Spirit of Yubel. I feel pretty comfortable. Especially since a lot of people don't know what Spirit of Yubel does. I'm going to be able to get it out, and because of Nightmare Pain, he is forced to attack into this. So from there, you can finish my opponent. You can see that it looked pretty bad in the beginning, but I was able to recover. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys the build that I was using. Okay guys, so this is the build that I was using. I'm not going to go over it too much. The ratios are something you can play around with. The hand traps, of course. I just wanted to maximize seeing everything. And yeah, that's kind of what I propped into. Once the actual set comes out in the TCG, I'm going to play the ratios that I think are more correct here. But I just like seeing everything at 3, and it worked for me. Super polymerization here, I just loved seeing it, so I like running that. 3 copies of Spirit of Yubel you saw was really good. The Yubel monsters just being able to go into each other, you only really need the 1 copy. 3 copies of Dark Beckoning Beast. You can go for 2 if you'd like. I just think even when you don't necessarily need it, just being able to discard it is really good. And opening of the Spirit Gates, reviving is really nice. Nightmare Pain, popping. You saw how much value this card was able to provide. Same thing with Mature Chronicle. And the Yubel, the new fusion monster, is extremely powerful. Clear out the board while doing a lot of burn damage. Other super poly targets. The Tifon, as you heard me cover, just a great Exceed monster. Being able to use something like Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, burning for 2000 damage. And of course, you can have something like Rail Cannon Super Dora. You can attach one material from this card and target one face of monster in the field. That target is unaffected by card effects. So just another like flex spot you can kind of play around with. Something like SP Little Knight, being able to banish things. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.